Thank you so much for welcoming me. Now I'm so happy and blessed to be part of Enterprise Uganda, to be part of the young enterprise. I'm so glad. I'm so happy to be here today, to be here now. To thank God that He gave me, that I'm now presenting here, and I'm presenting in front of the youth. I really thank God for that. Let me take this opportunity to thank.
I think Atrib, you may just lose the camera. I think you have a low bandwidth. So just take off the camera so that we at least have a clearer audio.
Oh, okay.
I'll just ask Derek to possibly just put one of your pictures on, to share one of your pictures as you share.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Okay. Are we good now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. I was saying that I appreciate. Let me take this opportunity to thank Mr. Ochichi Charles for the good work done for enlightening the youth in Uganda, to give us the opportunity to have knowledge about business and how to do it and when to do it and where to do it. We thank Mr. Ochichi Charles for that opportunity that he granted to us. We really do appreciate that. I'm one of the students. I'm one of the people who attended the seminar in Lugogo. So I do appreciate that. I'm by names of Buyego Hatwib. I'm born in a family of 6. My dad is Muonge Semgabi Dauda, and I'm the second born in that family. I would like to share my story, and this is it. I went to a primary school called Good Choice. It's for stopped. Then Kaumea, I did my piece and went to Mbogere. My senior one, that is. Then went to Clive College, where I sat my senior from. In my growing, I faced challenges like any other person. I faced a lot of challenges, like, for example, we never had money, actually. Our home never had that too much money, but our dad used to strive hard that at least we can go to school. I take this opportunity to thank him for what he really did, and he's still doing it for our siblings. We really do appreciate him. I started hustling because when I saw that now my dad is striving with school fees, he's striving with getting us food for home. So I was like, now, how can I help him? I started hustling. Fetching water for people, collecting garbage. For those people who have ever been in Chireka, most of you, I think, know me. We used to pour it the other side of Leiri and near Nambore. For those who know Chireka, I used to pay something like 500. Then I pour as many wheelbarrows as I can. I used to do that in the after school. That's in the evening. Then in the holidays, this made me like when going back to school, when I have my requirements, for example, I used to have my school uniform. I used to have all the requirements that were needed from school. Then dad could pay fees, as you know. So life wasn't easy. But we used to hustle. Now, after my senior 4, that's when I worked in a saloon. That was someone's saloon in Chireka here. Then I went to the, that's when I got a customer. Then what that customer did, he came, I worked on him, and he was very happy for my service. Then he was like, I have this same business. Can you really come and work this side, because I see you do it better? And I was like, I'll talk to my boss, the one who I was working for here, then and see what will happen. When I talked to my boss, he was like, what do you want as you? I was like, I want to change place of work. Like, I've been in Chireka, I've grown in Chireka, so I want to change the working environment. So he was like, it's okay, everything is fine. I went to Nakawa. So that's how I went to Nakawa. I went to Nakawa market, started working for this man. This man was a very good man, by the way. He's called Chiza Jackson, was a very good person. I started working on people like slowly. Then in those people that I worked on, this is where I found this guy. This guy was very different. This is the guy who had money in all his pockets. So I was like, you man, where'd you get all this money? Because it's really too much. This is the guy who could have money in all his pockets, like the right pocket, like the left pocket. Like, this guy had lots of money, my friend. You cannot even. So I was like, you man. Now, what I did was to befriend this man. I befriended this man such that he becomes my friend, because I really wanted to ask him where he gets this money, because he had lots of money and in cash, by the way. The guy came the first time, the second time. Now I was like, now today, let me ask this guy where he gets this money. I talked to him about it. He was like, I'll take you to my stall and you see where I work from. I was like, it's okay, that's cool. Days passed, weeks passed, months passed. One time I had to be like a parasite, because I had to make sure that he takes me where he gets this money, because this was giving me sleepless nights. It was really giving me sleepless nights, because I was wondering where this guy is getting them. So one day, the guy took me to his workplace. When we reached there, this guy was selling fresh peas and beans. When we reached his stall, you can't imagine. When we reached the stall, the guy got an order immediately. I was like, wow, okay. I listened, and the client who was making the order was something, it was around 800 something, because he was asking for, was it 30 kilograms of peas and some 15, 20 kilograms of beans? I can't remember very well. But what I remember, it was something around 800 something. So I was wondering. So I stopped wondering. I was like, the guy really gets this money. So I left his stall, knowing that now this has to be a business that I have to do. Because you can't imagine someone just in one sale, someone getting 800,000 shillings. I was like, now this person. I went on. I went back to my workplace. I started working on people, trimming their heads, like the usual business. Now, on the end of the year, I talked to my boss. I was like, because now this business that I saw had entered into my head, and I used now to feel it. And I'm like, this is the business. So I talked to my boss, and I was like, my boss, I want to quit my job. I want to resign, because I want to go and start my own business. And he was like, which business are you going to start? I told him I'm going to sell fresh peas and beans. He was like, it's okay. You can go. I have no problem with you. That guy was very good and nice, Bambi. Now, I had saved my money, some small money. Then I went back home to my dad, tell him about my business. He asked me whether, is it the one I want to do? I was like, yes. He gave me some portion of money that I added to the one that I had. On first, I went and started looking for the place where I'll put my business. Remember, this is the business that is in me. It is actually booming inside me because I saw the money the other guy used to have. So what I did was working with that very man. I told him I rented the place, paid 3 months, then talked to this guy and told him, please help me do this business. And he was like, I'm going to be giving you small portions, but you have to be paying for them. I was like, it's okay, because I have my capital. But to my surprise, guys, the business collapsed even before the rent I had paid for. I was like, now what am I going to do? Because now the business has collapsed. All the money that I had is now over. So I was like, what am I going to do? Because now this is the situation that you cannot go to the dad that things have turned. And I never wanted to look like a failure in life. I really don't want to. I had to struggle. Now I have nowhere to go. Remember, I had started renting. I have nowhere to go. I cannot go back to the salon. That would make me look like a typical failure. I couldn't do a thing. I was like, now what am I going to do? Going back to home, it will make me look like a failure, of which I don't want to look like a failure. Going back to the salon, it will be still a failure because it is like doing something, then it fails, then you go back. No, I was like, no, I don't have to go back. I have to struggle and then make it. What I did was to look for a business that doesn't require capital. And guess which business was that? It was caring for people in the market. You know, in the market, we have those people that comes and do the shopping, and then they go and sell to their nearby homes, because most of them have those small businesses near their homes. Now, I had to make sure that I increase on my time. Like, if I used to go around 6, then I had to make sure that I reach the market at exactly 5 or 4:30. Now, when I reached the market, because I had to make sure that I carry for those people, because those ones usually come early. Those in the market we have two kinds of customers. We have those ones that do the shopping and go and sell to their places, and we have these ones that do the shopping, those ones that do for home consumption. Yeah. Now I had to make sure that I come early to the market and make sure that at least I start with those people. It was really a very big challenge because when I started carrying for people, they were like, now at WIB, the way you look, you cannot carry for us. Because for us, we want people who are totally shabby. And I was like, me, I can work for you. I can even work for 500, even for 1,000. But the people, those customers were like, no, according to the way you look, you must be expensive. You must be expensive. So I was like, now what am I going to do? because now people don't want to give me business just because of the way I look. I was like, oh my God. Now I had to turn to being shabby, getting a t-shirt, these rag-like t-shirts, to make sure that now I get some money. Now I started slowly, but this is the only time, actually, this is the time when I knew that someone can sleep hungry. This is the time that I knew someone can sleep without eating anything. And I couldn't want to do anything like going back to my parents, like going back to the salon where I worked from. I had to be like a man. I was like, this is cool. I'll fight this situation and it will move. I struggled, members. Now, this is when I used to get, for example, like the chapat and beans. We usually call it commando, but it's the chapat and beans. Then plus something like water for 2,000. Then you take it and spend a full day without eating anything else up to tomorrow. Situations happened that even getting 1,000 shillings is a tug of war on my side. I was like, this situation is too big. I consoled myself, put myself together, and said I have to hustle. I'm a youth. I have to use all the opportunities. Nange, time passed, time went. I got a customer. A customer was called Audrey. She became my first client. This client that I know that I actually every Saturday I also have a client. I started getting that rhythm of now like sitting in the field. She used to come every Saturday. Then when time came on, time passed. Now I'm fit in the field. Now I don't even remember what happened, that I used to sleep even without getting a part of 500. Things passed, time went on. I got another customer called Mr. Richard. Life goes on. Now, remember, I did not lose the other business in my head. I lost it in money terms, but I did not lose it in my head. Now, there is a friend that I got. That friend is called Promise. She took me to her mom. Now, this is where we like, actually, this is where I encourage at least every person, at least behave, to at least have that good morals. Because when I reached to, and I actually thank my dad for grooming us well, because when I reached to that lady, to the mom of Promise, the way she looked at me, the way I greeted her, the way I behaved, she was like, you just sit and start working. I worked for that lady for a full year. And what was my aim? To gain the experience of the business, to know where this stuff comes from, the fresh peas and beans, to know the very person where I start from, like when I got for buying in bulk, to know how I should sell this stuff. Because remember, I had entered in this business without even any knowledge, just because of that vibe. I was like, okay, now the full year that I spent with that lady or with that family, I really gained a lot of experience in the fresh peas and beans. I was like, okay, now I can do it. I talked to her about it. I was like, you see, Mama, I'm now grown up. I have a family to cater for. So I would request you, let me go and start my business. You know, me, that saving culture has always been in me. I saved money. I saved money. Now, that's when I started my business again. Now this is coming back in full swing. From the person who was caring for people, from the person who now I'm now here still. That is part 2. I came back. When I came back, I did a business. It was really wonderful because I had gained the experience of that very business. Now, that's when we got a very big chance of Enterprise Uganda coming to our community, Nakawa. Oh, I was like, it was the Honorable by then, Bali Mwezo, he used to bring those people with microphones and move to the whole market and telling, we have our visitors that are in Lugogo, please youth come and go and please get knowledge about business. I was like, this is the opportunity that I was looking for. I didn't wait because this business was already working. I got workers. Now I got employees. I was the boss now. Remember, now I had to make sure that I get time to go and enter or to go and learn the Enterprise Uganda business. When I went there, these are the people that I met, the Mami Judith, and Mr. Ochichi, and even those guys that have been in the field. Those guys made me really, I was like, oh, that means I can also do something that is better and make me change my life. That week that I spent with Enterprise Uganda opened my mind because, for the market, there is this mind that we have to make sure that Munange, you stay and wait for the customers to come to the market. So if they don't come to the market, you will not see them. So I was like, after the week that had passed, I was like, oh, so if now I've got this knowledge, let me implement it. I started Hatwib Supplies and Logistics. What was my aim? I wanted to make sure, now I saw that the competition is too much in the market. Now, how am I going to reach those customers out there that don't want to come to the market? Those customers that are busy. I was like, now let me start this. When I started slowly, like how Mr. Ochichi said, you have to make sure you start slowly. Then you see your business growing. I registered the company. Then I started marketing. In just a year, guys, what am I telling you? The business grown. Getting customers. Now I started receiving orders on WhatsApp. I was like, oh, can you imagine I missed this? I increased on the number of employees, those people that were working for me. I started growing fat. Because you can imagine when you used to make something like, because in our usual market, you could make, for example, do the sales of, let me say, for example, let me say 800 or 1M, let me say. Now you reach an extent because when I know that now I have customers, now the customers started asking, making those lists. Someone asks you for tomatoes, onions, Irish, even not putting the fresh peas and beans that were on my store. I was like, hey, so I can put these ones also. such that when the customer asks it, it is there. I included the Irish, the tomatoes, and the onions. Now, the business grown, the business grown, the business grown. Now the orders started coming. I was like, hey, I cannot have everything in my stall. Now what am I going to do? I have to do a partnership with people. Those people that I'm working with in the market, I have to do a partnership. It's like, this will work more. Now orders came in. I used to, my Irish onions and tomatoes and fresh peas and beans were always on my stall. Then for the carrots, green pepper, I had to do a partnership with those people that sell them. Like, for example, you ask for it, I go to a friend and get it, I go to another friend and get the other thing. Like, to make sure the customer receives everything that he or she wants. Now, I started. The business is growing, remember? This is the Hatwib who never had even a bicycle. But right now, I have 7 bikes that do deliveries. I'm that person you see next to me. Those are some of the riders, because I also, by the way, ride. Those are some of the riders, and that is their uniform, as you see how smart it is, how smart we act anyway. So I started developing the business. I was like, now I only have WhatsApp. Can I put the Facebook? Can I open the Twitter? Can I open the Instagram? That is making the social media platforms. That helped me to make sure that I reach very many people that I couldn't reach. Because to everyone that is using the phone, at least goes to Facebook, at least goes to Twitter. So the more you go to Twitter, the more you see the ads, which helped me gain more customers. So the business grown. To the person who was struggling, to now the person who is employing others. Okay? That is the best person I am today. Now, when the business grown, there are these things that I wanted to do, actually that I'm doing, because I'm even doing them now, that makes me differ from the other people in the market, because I'm not the only person in the market doing this business. Now, the quality. What I did, this is the solution to the quality problem. Because most of people, when someone does the order, someone just sends the things even without checking. I have other 2 people that make sure that before this stuff goes to the customer, they are cross-checked thoroughly. To check on the what? They are cross-checked thoroughly to check on the quality. How are the tomatoes? How are the green peppers? How are the courgettes? How are the watermelons? How are the pineapples? That has made me really keep my customers, because they know that I deliver quality, not quantity. Now, on this business with a bike, so I used to suffer with, you tell you, I'm on board. You tell this person, come and take this stuff, tells you I'm coming, then like 30 minutes without, and requested for this, wants lunch, then minutes. I saw and I was like to non time management, because you can have a good quality product, but then because your time management is bad, you lose that customer because people are always on time. I was like, no, let me get one bike. I got one. I got another one. This is to make sure that the customer gets his or her order in time. I requested these friends of mine to come and ride those bikes. And to make sure that when the order comes, it is always delivered in time. So that's how I solved that the transport issue. That's how I solved the transport issue, to make sure that my customer receives his or her delivery in time. Then when always when this business grows, there are these things that we look up to. Because now, if I've been getting, for example, let me say the carrots from someone, but now I have 15 clients a day, like 15 clients who asks for carrots. Now I start. Now, how much do these guys sell to me these carrots? Like they give me 6 pieces for 2,000. Now I'm like, can't I get a sack that whole in wholesale to those guys who supply those people? You see? Because those carrots come from Kenya. And I know where those guys park. If I get a whole bag, can't I sell it and also get that profit on that bag? Because if someone can sell me 6 carrots at 2,000, that means I can even give my customer 8 carrots and still get profit. Okay? Because here on the deliveries, remember, we are getting the service fee and the transport fee. Now, because I want to increase my income, let me start buying this stuff in wholesale, such that I can do what? Such that I can increase on the quantity that I'm giving to my clients, but in a good quality, and still at the same amount. Because now you can imagine a customer you've been giving 6 carrots at 2,000, and then you start giving him or her 8 carrots at 2,000, and still of a good quality. That means this customer will be very happy and will not leave you. And this doesn't favor only the customer. Remember, I'm also increasing my income, because now I'm getting the profit on the bags of carrots. Okay? That is the same thing I did on the onions. That is the same thing I did on the green peppers. Because I see now, if I can do this, because now you target your orders, where like the most what do most customers ask? That if you bring it in a full bag or sack, you can sell it and get over within your clients. So that is to make sure that at least you always have that good quality. You don't give them all these stock things. You see, people want fresh things because they give you their money. It's the same thing I did on the oranges. Okay? So this has helped me not only increasing on the quantity of stuff that I give to my clients, but it has also helped in increasing my income. Because right now, if I was getting service and transport, remember, I'm selling the peas and beans, I'm getting that profit. I'm also getting the profit now on these other things that I never used to sell before. Because if, for example, you get 30,000 on the oranges, get 40,000 on the what? On the onions. So that means that is 70 already. And that is added on the income that you've been but I've been getting. So that is the accomplish and move that Mr. Ochichi talked about now. Because once you do a thing, you make sure that you go further. Leave it, make a step. Don't leave it like, don't dump it. But make sure you always make a step ahead. A step ahead. Now, that helped me so much. That really helped me so much. Now, I was like, okay, now we have our customers and we are still getting more. What do we have to do now to make sure that we do what? To make sure that we keep our customers. And remember, we have this key factor, the customer care. Trust me, guys, when I talk to a customer, you cannot take him or her from me. Trust me. Because of that customer care. And it's my very big weapon that I've used ever since I started. Even when I was only selling fresh peas and beans without even introducing the HSL, the Hardwood Supplies and Logistics. When there is that warm welcome. And actually, by the way, I would like to encourage this to every entrepreneur here who is doing a certain business. Like, customer care is a key to every business that is running. Because now, for example, me, I used to sell these beans. Now, after leaving the other lady, I started a business. But there is this warm welcome. You're most welcome, dear. How can I help you? That's sweet talking of the customers. Guys, this is the weapon. And most of the people in the market thinks that you're doing witchcraft. Yet it's the customer care. Now they call it witchcraft. But no one doesn't want that sweetness. Everyone wants to be like talked to very well. Please, to every entrepreneur here, please mark that thing. That customer care language is very good. When you're talking to your client, please, that is very good, and it's a very big key. Now, that is how I managed to change the market trends, because everyone was waiting for the customer who is going to come to the market and do the shopping. Now I introduced the new chapter of reaching them to their homes, reaching them to their offices, to make this business easier. Like, it is actually making the customers work easier, because the customer sits in his solar office, then he requests, then you deliver the order to where he wants it. If he wants it to his office, you deliver it. If he wants it to his or her home, I deliver it. So this has helped me so much in growing the business. Now, those key factors, please, guys, the quality control. Please don't leave, like, now, for example, me, I have 2 people, more 2, because I also do that quality control, but I have those 2 people that I trust much, that if we are having, for example, 10 orders, please, you go and make sure that those stuff are very fine, they're very fresh, you see? Because even when you're getting these things, you select them, okay? You select them and make sure that the customer gets the good and quality stuff. Now, in opening up these social media platforms, I've made it easier to make a very good network. Now me, I have even this other thing. I reach my clients personally. Like, there are orders that go, but there are times that I do get and reach my clients physically and talk to them about the deliveries. How do they find my services? Are our services good for them? Do they enjoy the service? Okay. That factor is also very good because it makes the customer know that these people I'm dealing with, they value me. Okay. Because valuing someone is valuing what that someone gives you. For example, someone gives you a list of 200 or 100, let's say. That 100 is too much. Because someone gives you, let me say, okay, 100 and, okay, 11,000. No, 110. So this 10,000 is covering the service and transport. So we are taking it as something very important. Now, I would like to have some question because I'm making it brief. So we use the remaining something like 40 minutes for the questions, because I would like to talk to the entrepreneurs and ask me some of the questions that I would like me to answer. Mr. Ronald, please. Are we on the same pace?
Yes, thank you, Atwip, for that beautiful summary of the work which you're doing. Amazing stuff. It's amazing to see what you have managed to get done over this period. It's a fascinating thing, and congratulations on the progress which you have made. A number of key messages. A message of starting small. A message of making sure that you take, even when you fail, you stand up again and you move. That's a powerful message. The message of making sure that you treat the customer right. Those are very powerful messages that came through, and particularly looking for opportunity, even in a place where you think the opportunity may not exist. You're in a Nakawa market. Nakawa market is one of the biggest markets. It's a very active market, a very competitive market, but you manage to squeeze out some opportunity in there. And for me, that's an ask Hatwib a couple of questions. I'm going to request, I think there is a question which has come in from Josephine. Josephine says, thank you, Atwib, for the educative talk. What do you do with your old stall, the stall which you started with, Hatwib? You could answer that question when you get a chance. Let me just ask you a couple, and then I will get you, I'll get you an opportunity to answer. Where are you based for the case of benchmarking on your experience? I think Frank Hatwib is based in Nakawa market, and he'll also share his contact. Those of you in Nakawa market, you might possibly, or in that area, you can be able to give him a bit of business. I'll see if there are any hands, and then we will ask. I'll get an opportunity to ask Hatwib some questions. Great. I was just trying to find. So please, you can put up your hand and ask Hatwib some questions. Hatwib, I'll possibly go first and ask a couple of questions. The first question which I wanted to ask was, how many people are you currently employing, and how did you find these people? Are these your brothers? Are they your cousins? Who are the people who you are employing to do this work? So just talk to the people you are employing and how you identified them. Then secondly, I wanted you to take a moment and and speak to us about the question of sub, the question of how you are keeping the new customer happy. If I call you, for example, and I say I'm located somewhere in Entebbe, how do you manage to make sure? Do you have some system you have built to say, you know what, and call you and they're in difficult places? So how do you manage to make sure that you are looking after that group? Hatib, you can take those two questions and then we'll take others from the members.
Times.
Hatib, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, but I haven't had the third question.
Oh, the third question was on the system which you have built. Because if I call you, for example, and I say, I want you to deliver to Gayaza, or I want you to deliver to Entebbe, do you say that is too far, or do you have a system which says I only deliver within 5 kilometers from Nakawa market? How have you managed that? And then secondly, I want you to touch on getting paid. So do you deliver and someone looks at the items and they pay you? Do they send you mobile money? How are you managing the payments?
Okay, that is question 4, eh?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, then question 5, please.
I think you can take those and then we'll have another round.
Oh, I take these ones first, eh?
Yes, please.
Okay. Right now, these are the employees that I'm working with right now. I have 2 people that are doing the quality control. I have the 8 riders now. One is on his bike, but the 7 ones are for the company. So those are 10 people. Now I have 5 people that do the parking. Now, for example, staff are now, for example, there are staff that we have to get from different places. These are the people who go and collect them and do what? Go and collect them and then pack them properly. So we already have those are the people in the field. There are 15. Then we have me actually. I'm also here. Then we have those people on the stall. Those are 10. So have I answered the first question?
Yes, please. But you could also tell us, how did you identify these? Are these your brothers? Are they? How did you find them?
Now, for example, these riders. For the riders, those were my friends. Those are the people that we used to work with in carrying for people. Those are the people that I brought closer to me. Now those ones in rides. And even these ones, the 5 ones that are doing the collecting and packing for the clients, those are the people that I used to be with in the market, because now I got to know them and we actually share the same dream, because they know now that we've been with that guy and he's doing this, and they are the very people who understand clearly what I tell them. So Most of these people have got them from the very market. And apart from the two that they sent to me from that side of Wakis, I have two of them. But these other ones, and apart from these, the ladies who do what? The ladies who clean the stuff. Those ones are I just got them from this side of. They were just given to me by friends, but mostly the guys that I'm working with have been working with them from the market, that very market. So it has been easily for me to identify them because we have been in the same society and they do understand me and I understand them. So unless you want me to say anything still on the question one.
No, I think that is good. That is good.
Is it enough? Now.
That is fine. That is fine.
You said how I'm keeping new customers happy. And you said, for example, someone orders from Entebbe. I have a customer from Chitende, have a customer from Najana Nkumbi. But the way I talk to these people, now, for example, me to my services, I say, you pay for the service fee and then transport. Okay? So let us assume the customer is in, let us start from that one of, I'm giving an example from that one of Najana Nkumbi. This is the person who pays 30,000 for service and transport. Now, me, how I talk to my customers, because when I'm doing this business, I talk to the customer and tell him all how I run the business. For example, you have, let me say, you have a list of 300 and you're in Najana Nkumbi. So the service fee is 30, is 10, and then plus the transport, which is 20. There are customers who can say, now Hatwib, you're expensive. Can we reduce, at least I make 25? I still work with them, you see, because in business there is this what we do. When this customer is going to give you, for example, 10K, but on a distance which deserves something like 15. But there is another customer who also going to give you 10K on a distance which needs something like 5K or 4K. So there is the way how I balance this business to make sure that my customer is happy and I'm also happy, that no side is unhappy. Hope guys you're getting me. Hello?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay. So on the systems built, now, for example, you said someone orders from guys. I think that is going to be like question 2, because right now I'm building an app. It's in the process. I'm building an app and I'm building a system to make sure that the customer has his side. And I want to also make sure I'm building up an app that is covering two or three things. Where the customer orders from, and I also want to make sure that we build an app that when the order comes, how should I phrase it? What build an app that it is going to be like, it's going to be having very many people, like for example, the vendors. I'm building that system because I'm seeing something else. You see, like we are focusing on how to increase on our income. So I'm building this up to make sure that at least we find out these people that have restaurants, those big hotels, those people who would like the people with gifts. By the way, let me take also this opportunity because I got a partnership business with the souvenir box. So those guys are also enjoying our delivery service because not only the freshies that we deliver, we are building a system that now, for example, someone can be having a business but lacks the delivery personnel. Now, we've got souvenir box. That's a new partnership, a new contract that we have. We are doing their deliveries. By the way, if you have let me just pass it through. We do deliveries, not only the market deliveries. So now, like these souvenir box people, they hired us. They gave us a contract of delivering their gifts. For them, they deal in gifts, but we still deliver them to their clients. So we do that. In our system, in the new system that we are building, we are making sure that when a customer orders something, everything is going to be on that app. Like, for example, if a customer is in Gayaza and we talk to that person and know that where in Gayaza are you exactly? Because actually before the system, we have been doing it manually. Like if, for example, customer is in Gayaza and the side of St. Juliana, and we see now how much transport, because we have a client that side, you pass St. Juliana and then go inside there. So we talk to those clients and be like, now, according to where you are, it needs something like, let us say 35,000. That is transport. And then you give us, according how big your delivery is or your package is. For example, you have an order of, let's say, 500. Then it will be like, now for the service fee, will give us 15, which will make it 50. Then negotiate with our customers. For us, I negotiate with my customers. That has helped me so much to keep them, because someone is like, please, you are saying 50, but I have 40. I make sure that my main role is make sure that my customer is favored in any way. And also because there are times that I find that my side is a little bit not favored, but my main issue is my customer, because my customer is my boss. So even if we build a very strong system of making sure that the prices are indicated, for example, to Gayaza, let's say 20 or 25, for example, to Nigeria, that is 10,000. We make sure that we talk to the customer. Even if we finish up our app, we're not going to just leave our customers to suffer. We are going to make sure that we are going to make sure that we talk to our customers on the fees that we put. Then the payment methods so far now, because it's cash on delivery. Because now, by the one client one time asked me a question and he was like, now, Habib, how will I trust you? Okay. Because how will I trust you sending you my money? Then I don't know you. I was like, no, my client, that is not how I do my things. What you're going to do You send your list, we prepare your stuff and deliver them, and you pay after the delivery. Okay, now that has helped us much, like to bring that to close the gap of that of the trust, because someone will be like, how can I send you my 2M? You see, I have a ceremony, but I want things of 2 or 3M. So we made it easier for our clients and told them, no, for us, we are going to bring your stuff, everything that you've asked for, then you pay after the delivery. So most of the people pay cash because there are people who pay cash. And the other ones, they pay on mobile money. But the customer tells you that, me, I have cash. Then you send someone who you know that is going to hold your cash properly and brings it to you. But mainly, and we have the bank, because there are those people, like, for example, I have the contract we have with the Bundikao. Those people use the bank. They use the bank, but those are the only ones we have that use the banks. The other ones use mobile money. The other ones use cash. So, Mr. Ronald.
Thank you, Atwib. There are a couple of more questions. We'll take them. I think we still have time for at least one round or two. Commander says, thank you for the presentation, Mr. Atwib. Just wanted to inquire how you handle the stigma of working in the market, how you handle the stigma of working in the market when you started. And I think this is a very good question, Atwib. I mean, you go in the market, you did say that at some point people said you don't look like someone who should be carrying loads, and you try to fit into the community. How did you handle that stigma? I think that's the question which Collins said, because now people find you, you are branded, you are in t-shirts, lovely t-shirts, and yet that is something which has been a journey. But how did you handle that stigma when you were starting? Then there is a question here from Martin. How do you pay your employees? Do you pay them a salary or do you pay them commission for the work which they do? Then Jen says, hi Atwib, what is the minimum order you require to make business sense? How much, what's the minimum? Say, for example, someone is ordering from Namuongo for things for 30K. Does that make business sense? What's the minimum order that you require? Then Lydia says, but how does one get to... Oh yes, I think Lydia, this is my question. How does one get to discuss with Enterprise Uganda on business mentorship? Tried to call and follow up several times and yielded. Yes, Lydia, I'm going to request that I'm going to ask Derek to sidebar you to answer this question. And Derek, please do post the link for registering for business health check, so that we can have someone go to Lydia. So Lydia, I've captured your request. I'm going. Derek is posting right now in the chat box the link to the business health check, and I'm going to ask him to sidebar and kind of follow up on your question. Susan says, what happens when a client refuses to pay after you have delivered for one reason or the other? Hatwib, you can answer those ones, and then we see if we have time for another round.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But let me start with what happens if a customer fails to pay. You see, this is an easy thing. Okay. When I'm talking to a customer, I always say, my staff are cash on delivery. There is nothing like a customer fails to pay, because unless we are having a contract that you say that you pay for a month or for 2 weeks or for 1 week. But on these usual deliveries, you cannot tell me that You've requested your order, I have delivered your order, and then don't pay. Then I just take my order back. Okay? I just take my order back. Unless we have a contract. But because we've actually faced many challenges in these things. Because you take to a customer, then says, give me 10 minutes. And remember, that same customer said, how can I trust you with my money? Then you've done your part. Then the customer is not doing his or her part. Me, what I do, I take my delivery back. Unless, and there is this other thing, because there are those clients that have been compliant, that we've been moving with, that have been working with us, that they have been moving with us. For that one, you can say, no, that customer has been very good. I can give that customer time to pay, because there have very many customers have done it. So if you're not our customer, like if you've not been a usual customer, that you've been compliant with our services, because most of the customers, you're new, you've not been moving with us, and so you've given an order, we have delivered, and you've not paid, we just take the order back. As simple as that. For us, we don't want scandals. I tell you what, now this, now that. No. We make sure it's cash on delivery. Unless you are our customer that we've been moving with, there you can be like, oh, no, this is my client and moving with this person, has been very good. For that, we can at least listen. Then, how did I handle stigma? This is something that hurted me so much. Something that I actually rarely don't want to talk about. There is that humanity thing. Now, there is someone like me. I don't want to be shabby in any way or the other. So I found it really hard. I wanted money, because those are the days when I can even spend a day, when the most man I've earned is 1,500. So I really had nothing to. It hurted me so much, but I really had nothing to do. Now, for example, now people in the market, there are that kind of, what should I call it? The knowledge that they have. Someone wants you to look like a mad person. Can you imagine? Because these are the clients that I've got. You ask him, or actually they were mostly ladies. You ask her, I can work for you, madam. I'm a good person. I will not take your stuff. I will not steal your stuff. I'm a good person and I'm cheap. And it's like she like, I cannot make you carry for me. See the way you look. So you can imagine. The big issue is, do I take the money? Do I work for the money that you want to give me? But people look at the appearance. You're too smart. No. And I used to always tell them, I can't even work for 500. But they never believed. What I did was to get these t-shirts which are like drugs. It pained me so much, but it made me also open my mind. And I was like, this is a journey. And every person has to, if this is what God wants me to pass through. I had to get a t-shirt, which is like a rag. So they started giving me business. So those are the Ugandans that we have. Instead, so someone asked, how do I pay my employees? Now, let us go to the issue of transport, because mainly I pay according to what you have done. Okay. Now, for example, there are things that we cannot. Now, for example, these guys who collect stuff, who pack them, those ones, their work is always there. So there is the way how we talk about it. But now on the issue of transport, for example, these bikes, someone is not going to fuel the bike. Someone is not going to service the bike. So what do I do? I make sure that I'm paying the driver. So for example, let us assume the order goes to Ntinda. If it goes to Ntinda, that order is around 5,000 to 6. If it is 5,000 to 6, the rider is going to at least get 3K. Or, yeah, around 3K or to 5 by that order. So if the order is going to Nigeria, which is 10,000, so a rider is expected to get something like 6. Okay. Then there are these people who so that's how I pay them. Most especially now, these riders, I pay them according to the where they have gone, how many riders have. So they always yearn to do more rides, because the more the rides, the more the money they get. Then someone is asking the minimum order. I've actually never got an order of that, but the orders that I mainly get start from 90 something, 80 something. Okay, 80 something and above. But still, if you have an order of that, me, I don't mind about your order of 30,000. But do we agree on the service fee and transport? Because someone can be wanting something of that when that person is ready to pay the 10,000 of service and transport. Me, my problem is the service and transport. Okay, it and depending on where you are. And the other thing on top of that, I'm building something that I want to, very soon I'm opening up a pickup center in Nakasero. So people around Nakasero, I'm coming very soon. I'm coming. So Mr. Ronald.
Wow. Thank you so much, Atwib. Very inspiring. For those of us who are Nakasero, I see you have captured. I hope that more pickup centers can be opened in other parts of the city. Atwib, it's been an honor. Our time has run out, but a big thank you for joining us. I'll just allow you to share your final remarks with the team, your final kind of a word, especially to the young entrepreneur out there as they start and move on this journey.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Ronald, and thank you for hosting me. I'm honored. I'm really honored. Now, actually, it's a few remarks because we have 5 minutes to go now. I want to talk about discipline. Please, guys, discipline. The way you talk with customers. These customers want to be sweet talk. They want to be cared for because they're our bosses. The more you care about the customer, just know that customer will not leave you. Trust me. That has been my very big weapon, because if I speak to a customer knows that person business. Sweet talking the customers, value your customer because he or she is your boss. There are very many other people doing the business that you're doing. So you're in a very big competition and a stiff one. So have that best customer care, have discipline, even with your employees. Don't make them be like you're just helping them. Make sure they are your friends, make them your friends, make your business like be a home of someone. Like you be a family. Me, my employees, we are like families. It's a family actually. So I'm making it easier for them, which has also helped me as a person because they are doing something. They're like, this is our friend, this is our brother. They can talk to me anytime. So make your employees your friend. Always look for the best options. As a youth, make sure you don't rest because actually God gave us everything. We have the energy, we have the knowledge, we are young. So let us make it effective. Let us actually make it into use. I think, and the other thing, let me take this opportunity still to thank Enterprise Uganda for the great things they have done to make sure that they improve on the knowledge of the youth. You see, most youth needs that polishing of their minds. So once Enterprise Uganda comes in, it's really done, because I'm also here because of Enterprise Uganda. So for those who would like to get my number, it is 0780 156567. Mr. Ronald, think I'm done unless there is anything you would like to.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Atwib.